Welcome into this edition of the Triumph Spotlight, our second edition back this year for football season, and we have a good one for you today. It's our guest, Keonta Jenkins, grad student from Jacksonville in his fifth season for Virginia Tech. Star linebacker has been a vital part of the Hokies defense. He's coming off one of the best games of the year, too, in that 21-6 win over Georgia Tech. This guy had 10 tackles. We have a lot to talk about, and it's coming up next in this edition of the Triumph Spotlight. Today's show is brought to you by Triumph NIL. The Triumph Digital Network is a fully integrated portal featuring individual channels for Keonta Jenkins and all of your favorite Hokie athletes. Visit triumphnil.com for exclusive engagement, merchandise, content opportunities, and subscriptions. I'm your host, Kyle Marshak, Chris Coleman on set, Nick Brown behind the scenes, and of course, we've got Keonta on set. Thanks for joining us.
No problem. Love to be here.
Yeah, well, how about last week? A big win against Georgia Tech. You had a couple of fourth down hit sticks, 10 tackles, good game, but no celebrations, man. What's up with that?
Honestly, celebration really been a big part of my game. I get it from a lot of my teammates, a lot of my family and friends. I was just talking to my brother back at home. He gave me 3 celebrations to do, so you might see some next weekend come after some big plays. So I've been trying to think, though, try to be more celebrate, get more tuned, be more involved with the celebration. But most of my celebration be coming based on my emotions. That's why it's all look the same. So, yeah, I'm going to try to get some.
Well, if you keep getting 10 tackles in a game, you'll have more opportunities for celebrations.
For sure.
Well, I thought that was possibly the best game of your career against the run. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I during the whole week of practice, I kind of pinpointed that with them being the team they was and how they like to run the ball. So just being being that extra hat in the run game, just to help eliminate some of that run for them.
Well, it's the first time in Brent Pry's tenure that you guys have won 3 games in a row. You've been there for the entirety of it. What's different with this team this year?
I think it's just a want to for the guys. A lot of the guys on the team is kind of older guys, and a lot of guys just really want to change the story and just want to be that it factor for the team and have their own place and where we end up going at the end of the season. So just the guys and the way they approach the game and knowing that we here to win and what we want is way bigger than what we've been getting for the last few years. So just everybody, just attention to that, I think, is what changed.
That's 3 wins in a row. Arguably should be 4. What does a confidence do for a football team like this when you start to get on a roll a little bit?
Yeah, I think that's what it did for us. It built a lot of confidence just coming from the first win to the second one. Just every week, it's just our confidence. And, when you get confidence, you get a little bit more swagger. You get a little bit more confident with just how you play. So just gaining that confidence on offense and defense, and even in the special team area, because we made a lot of plays in special teams too. So just building that confidence just make it more easier going to the next game with the standards of what we're here to do.
Well, you're playing with a lot of confidence right now. In this stretch, interception versus Stanford, 6 tackles against Boston College, and then last week. Is this the time of the year where you're usually peaking?
Yes, for some reason, this is the time of the year where I use it as sin. I think I'm coming into my last 4 games of this season, so I'm trying to leave it all there on the table. I don't want to lead a season with, I should have did this, or I should have went kind of harder in this area. I'm trying to focus on all the areas I can improve in and just go as hard as I can, make as much plays as I can to get the most out of it.
Yeah. Let's go back to the beginning of your career at Virginia Tech. Your first game as a true freshman, you start as free safety.
Yes, sir.
And then 2 years later, Brent Pry comes in and wants you to move to star linebacker.
Yes, sir.
What's the thought process behind that? How did you go about approaching that move? How much did you have to think about it?
It was kind of a hard transition for me in the beginning because I was moving from a position that I kind of worked my whole life into within my craft and just my technique, being a safety, and I was prided of being a safety. So when Coach Pride came in, gave me the opportunity to go to a star position, it was kind of I was kind of iffy about it for a little bit because I've been a safety my whole life. But then at the same time, it was an opportunity for me to actually get on the field. I had started, like you said, my free as safety in my freshman year, and then when they came in, I think Chamar went from nickel to safety, and he was either sit behind Chamar and the other good guys that was at safety, or take my shot to being on the field with them. So I just took my shots being on the field with them and just learning what the position take and how can I be the best at this position. So
how drastic was that change? Because I know you played wide receiver in high school and stuff like that. So, being a safety played into your skill set, and now you're basically just a linebacker with really good hands. So was it a big change?
I think coming from safety and just the experience of offense, it kind of helped me actually be good at the star position, because I understand how offense try to attack me, and then just coming from safety with just covering, because the star position playing in a lot of space. So just being from safety and experience I have from safety, it's kind of easy to play within the space. I think the only transition from the safety to the star position was being in the box fits. It's kind of a little harder. You know, you got to see pull now. You got to see a lot of things, and it happening. Like the ball get up on you a little quicker. So just like within my first year to my third year at the star position, I think that's what kind of improved that for me a lot. And then just taking my transition from the safety, when it comes out to covering skills, like covering tight ends, it's a little bit more natural for me to do a little bit more easier. So, yeah.
Coach Pry has really been high recently on Gabe Williams. What are you seeing from him in practice as one of your backups?
Just improvement, just a guy who really wants to improve. He's a guy who don't hesitate to ask questions of where he can get better. He always comes to the sideline, you know, put me to the side, ask me about his rep, what he could have did. Just one of those guys. Those guys like you want to help because he asking for it. So I think that's really the improvement with Gabe. He in the weight room trying to get stronger, trying to get faster, get more flexible, just the little things that you have to have at this position. So that's why I kind of appreciate for Gabe. And he an easy learner. Like, he's not hard. You don't got to keep yelling at him, getting at him. So I think that's what's good about Gabe.
The entire room, you guys appear to have great relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a quote from last week. We were talking to one of our writers, and he said that you felt Jaden Keller's performance 2 weeks ago motivated you to step up for this week. So what are those relationships like in the linebacker room? It's
just a little competitive nature that we got in the linebacker room. Like, I honestly look at a lot of them guys and based on how they play sometimes on how I play. That's just going back to I think last week JK had 10 tackles. So I'm walking in the room, you know, I got that, like I got to go do that now. So yeah. it just helped like boost the whole room. And just with Kelly called his interception. He said he's gonna be the first guy in the inside linebacker room to catch an interception, and then he go out and do it. So it just now I gotta go out here and catch an interception. So it just keep us going, keep us competing with each other, and just have us on our toes. So I appreciate them guys for that.
You got a lot of seniors on this year's team, so the leadership is shared to a certain extent. But who's the most outspoken of all the senior guys on this team, would you say? You can include yourself if you think you are.
I think the more outspoken guy probably would be Fuga. I think he addressed a lot of, like, you know, team issues or team things that need to be brought to more spotlight. So I think Fuga definitely do that. But it is a lot of captains, a lot of seniors, a lot of older guys, a lot of guys that I like APR and Cole Nelson, and a guy I've been with for a long time, Panay. It just, them guys from the defensive standpoint always have that motor in practice, you know, never, even though we getting late into the season, never really losing their edge and losing their competitiveness. So they keep the defense rolling in a lot of different ways.
So when you look ahead to Kyle McCord, possibly LaQuint Allen and Syracuse this week, what do you and the upperclassmen think about your approach to everything?
Yeah, we just have to be like just more technical sound, more just doing what we do good, just do it a little better. Like, we just got to keep stepping up, because this is a good team. I think they do what they do well. They rely on their quarterback with the run game, and like you said, with Quentin, the running back, he runs pretty hard. A good running back. They're a good team overall. So I think they're going to come in and do what they do, and we just have to come in and do what we do a little better.
Is it different from a mental standpoint? When you go from a game, Georgia Tech is obviously going to be a run-heavy team. Syracuse has had a couple games this year where they've thrown it 60-plus times. How is that different from a mental standpoint approaching?
I think it's a mental challenge for us in the secondary as a bat seven. I think our bat seven is a good group, and we pride ourselves on being a good group, just like how the D-line pride themselves. So I think this is a real big opportunity for us to show that we can cover in the back end, and we can give our D-line time to go get some sacks or cause some pressure, and just, it's going to be the perfect game, I think, for the passion and the coverage to work together.
And when was the last time you guys were up in the Dome? I don't believe you. Have you played there?
He's never played in the Dome.
Yeah, I don't think I ever played in the Dome ever.
So have you been up to Syracuse? You used to that cold weather at all?
I haven't been to Syracuse.
And you're a Jacksonville guy,
yeah,
so that's a trip for you. Yeah. So how about we reel it back and talk about your time beginning at Virginia Tech? You're part of a pipeline of some big names that have been through the Jacksonville area and then Blacksburg. Isaiah Ford's one of them. Keyshawn King. Are there other Jacksonville guys that we've not heard about that you have really good relationships with throughout the ACC?
Throughout the ACC, it's not too many guys throughout the ACC from Jacksonville that I can just think of off the top of my head. But there's a couple guys, like a guy named Devon Matthews. He played with me back in Jacksonville in high school. He was a safety in front of me, so he gave me a lot of tools on a lot of ways to approach and just going to college, because he had went to Indiana before me. He was a starter at Indiana, played safety. So that's one of the guys I looked up to, and just like Jamar, just one of them guys that you always hear around in the city, and then you come play with him, he the same guy. And it just Isaiah Ford, he played with Jamar in high school too. So I think coming from where I came around a lot of good athletes who went to the next level and kind of just kept doing what they was doing.
What was your message earlier this season? Obviously, it was talked about before the season. Virginia Tech's going to have a chance to go to the playoffs, going to have a chance to compete for an ACC title. Then you start off 2-3. What's the message, as a senior leader to everybody to kind of keep everybody's heads up and stay focused and things like that?
Honestly, it was just keeping our head on today. Like, there was a lot of preseason noise, a lot of preseason, analysts are just talking about where we can be, but we always just be where we at now. Just my main thing is just be where your feet at now and control what you can control now. So we going into when we went 2-3, it was just we gonna turn around. Just don't lay down and just take it so we could turn the thing around and win the next rest of the season. And that's how we always approach the game. That's how we approach the game now, and that's how we gonna have to if we still trying to do what we want to do. So everything I think that people planned out there for us to be, and that for what we worked for throughout the winter and the summer and all that, I think it's still out there. We just have to keep going out there and dominate.
And how do you keep that noise out? Because that's a lot of noise, especially with that preseason hype.
I mean, me personally, I'm not a guy that be too deep into it because I feel like I play and I live in real life. I actually know what's going on. I'm in the house, in the family, so I know how we think and how we operate and what we can control. So it's the noise really don't affect me, but it's good to hear the pats in the back, but then you got to take everything else with it. So I just don't get mixed in at all. If you can't take both of them, then just don't get mixed in.
With the playoffs expanding to 12, it almost seems like every game is an elimination game at this point in the season. So Syracuse is huge, and if you beat Syracuse, then Clemson is huge, and if you win that one, then Duke is huge, and so on. Is that exciting as a player? You're not in. It's not the playoffs per se, but in a way, it kind of is like
elimination
the playoffs.
Game.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it brings a lot of unnecessary tension to the game. It's not a playoff elimination game, but it's like you said, it's almost feel like it. So I think it just gonna naturally make players have that more of a competitive edge, knowing that it's probably not the last game, but it's a game away from what you really want to be at. So I think that for us is kind of a motivator for our team and our defense, knowing that we have to play to a certain level to actually get what we going, and we don't want to lose, and we not trying to wait on nobody else to lose, so we just got to go win everything out, and that's how we have to approach it.
So much can happen in 5 years. So when you came out of John Ribault High School in Jacksonville and got recruited to Virginia Tech, did you imagine you would end up in such a position with the realignment, the new playoff system, and all the games that you've played?
Honestly, I did not. I kind of all take it as it come in. I really don't know what's to come. I think just my experience from day one to now, just you don't necessarily know what's coming, just more how you adapt to it and just learning from people that came before you. Try not to just be blatantly mistakes and just taking care of business. I think that's my approach when I came in as a freshman, and I'm just gonna take care of business as business coming. I was blessed to be with the 12 playoffs, just to have an opportunity. I'm blessed to be with NIL, with guys who didn't make that, and just the fan base we got, the whole season, the whole home games being sold out, that type of environment, and just being able to play in them what could be elimination games, and just I think that's just the experience that I'm glad that I got.
What do you like to do besides play football?
When I'm not playing football, I'm probably just home. I'm more of a homebody guy. I just be chilling at home. Guys, I got a few guys I hang with out on the team, like Quan Felton. I hang with Quan Felton a lot, so we just be chilling. I probably be at home playing video games, watching movies, or just out. Well, now in the season, I'm not too much of a cold guy, so
stay inside.
So I'm in the house a little bit more now. So yeah, that's pretty much my day.
I got to. All right. So what video games you guys running?
I've been playing 2K lately, but I've been on NCAA too. I got to play with myself and Call of Duty. That's just my little 3 rotations right now. So NC.
Is that surreal being able to play yourself as a video game character?
It honestly is. And I got a couple homeboys that just like big fans of tech themselves. So when I play them, they pick and tech before I do. And then they'll probably end up catching an interception with myself and I can't even be mad.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's probably what I would have did. Yeah. So it is a fun moment just having like just being able to play. And then as you're going through the season, you see like, you know, upgrades come. Like I think APR got an upgrade. You actually, okay, they watching. So have a little bit more of a purpose to go out here and just do a little bit different things. Yeah.
Some people go out there, they just need to boost
like
their
people
overall.
that be kind of really into it. So
Yeah.
Can you critique your own ratings in NCAA football?
Can you critique them?
Critique your own ratings. Like what do you think about your ratings in the football game?
Honestly,
how would you change them?
I would change it drastically. I'm honestly a 77 overall, which is not bad because I take it. But I think I should be up in them 80s.
That's a little low, yeah.
Yeah, I think I should be up in them 80s. I think my speed is an 88. I'm looking at like a 92. I'm not asking for nothing crazy. I'm not asking for nothing crazy. Like a 92 speed, 95 acceleration, something like that.
Hey, I mean, if they're watching this video, you're driving a good pitch right now.
I'm saying like I could cover. I think my man cover should be a little higher. I don't really give up too stuff in man. So yeah, I critique it just a little bit, but nothing too crazy.
Do they still have awareness on there?
I have
My
no
awareness,
idea.
I might up my awareness. I think I got good game awareness.
Yeah, that's what I would definitely say. Yeah,
So
I mean, just
like
for somebody who's played as long as you've played, you know
play
what you're doing.
recognition and things like that. I think that's just a mental inside of it, though. You probably wouldn't really understand that just watching the game. That he know what he doing and he doing it well. You probably wouldn't know. So.
I'd be really curious to meet the actual individual that creates these ratings.
Right.
Like, who are they? What are they looking at? You know, I'd imagine it's probably a dude with glasses somewhere in
I think you got to stay
Connecticut.
have a real low profile because there's a lot of people who have a lot of questions about.
You'll never make everybody happy. It's one of those
And
jobs.
I think that's just a part of their business. You try to make everybody happy, and then but you can't. So they just do probably their best.
If it were a former football guy, then I would feel better about it. But my guess is it's someone with like a Harvard math degree. I don't know. All right. So how about pregame? I see you with the headphones in. What are you bumping?
I've been bumping a little bit of everything. My mood kind of changed between the games. I think last game I think I was listening to Rod Wave. He was more like not too uppity, but just, you know how he just sang and just trying to stay calm. I've been like lately, I just been listening to more calm music. Cause usually I mostly live something that's gonna have me like some up tempo music, but I just be, you know, it's quiet before the storm. So I just,
Chris, you a Rod Wave guy?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. What are you going to do after football? Like after college? What's your major and what do you want to do?
Well, I got my degree in sociology and I'm working towards my second in consumer studies. So I've been looking for things like in the social work area. My sister actually got her degree in sociology too, so she do a lot of social work. So I was thinking like after I get out of school, do some social work, just probably and get out there. But I also got a friend who do a lot in business, and I like to invest in and start a business and actually be my own boss one day. So we're looking to start like a little truck dumping business and actually buy one home together and build from there.
Nice. I like that. And what gave you a calling to sociology and social work and stuff like that?
I want to do psychology at first. People say I'm a good person to talk to. I'm a great listener. So I was just going with what's naturally come for me, and I want to do that area. But I wanted to graduate on time too. So I did sociology just so I can be on time.
Cool.
Yeah.
And my final question that I had, so we had Anise Peebles on last week, and he's a fashion guy. I took a peek at your Instagram. You were pretty fitted too. So I asked Anise. He had a pretty good answer to this question last week. If you had to fix Chris and I's drip, what would you have us wearing on set?
Right now?
Yeah.
I think I add probably just a piece of jewelry.
Okay.
A piece of jewelry, probably like a watch or something.
That's
But
fair.
I like the setting because it's more comfortable.
You're right.
It's a comfortable setting. Like the whole time I've just been sitting here looking like what I'm gonna put in my room. I see I got the lunch pail thing. I got a couple ideas I'm still back for just y'all drip. I think it's just a little piece of accessory because they say when you put on clothes, you're wearing clothes and you add a piece of jewelry or a hat, you styling it. So he's styling on you right now because he got his hat on.
A little more flair.
Yes. Chris Coleman, well-known fashionista.
Right,
So,
exactly right.
yeah, I was never a jewelry guy. You're not wearing a chain or anything right now, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah.
I like it though.
That's right. All right.
I'm not a jewelry guy myself. Honestly, I don't really buy a lot of jewelry. I kind of like all my money kind of like stay in my pocket.
Nah, it's a good way to be, man.
Well, I'm broke, so I'm not getting it anyway. So, all right. Well, I appreciate you, man, and you looking forward to Syracuse. Hopefully, you stay warm up there.
For sure. I'll probably be out there in a long sleeve and tights for y'all, so
Yep.
you gotta stay warm. Be right there by the heated benches and stuff.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we appreciate you for coming on, and guys, you do not want to miss this game live on the CW Network at noon on Saturday in the JMA Dome. But for Chris Coleman and Nick Brown behind the scenes, and of course Keonta Jenkins on set, I'm Kyle Marshak, and we'll see you guys next time on the Triumph Spotlight.